promises.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a cool intro, but I sure didn't see it. But whatever. It is the Eternal Baseball Podcast, and it's a little different tonight. I'm in the driver's seat. Normally, it's my partner Brent making things work, but I'm just going to assume we're online since there's a clock ticking up there. And my fill-in is my good friend Mike Irizarry. I was the fill-in on his G.I. Joe podcast on Friday nights. It's the longest running G.I. Joe podcast, and now it's video all over YouTube. What's on Joe Mind? And he is the senior member, the longest tenured member. And I am the doe-eyed rookie, along with Joe Colton, the queen of G.I. Joe cosplay. So Mike and I know each other real well. And Joe, who's Canadian, has to deal with us talking baseball right before we go online every Friday night. So with Roto on assignment this week, he said, "Can you find somebody to host?" I said, "Yeah, I can find somebody to host." And
I got nothing going on.
Well, I got a guy who's good. So, yeah, let's do it. If Brent wants to play Wally Pipped, that's up to him.
That guy who's really good couldn't make it tonight, so here I am.
Yeah, fine. And then, and I go too deep on Irizarry's. So if I got to go to the pen, I will. And so the caveat I gave, even though we try to pick teams that haven't been on Eternal Baseball on the Game of the Week yet, I said, you know what, Mike's a Yankee fan, I'm a Yankee fan. I said, if you want to play a Yankee game, we can do a Yankee game on Sunday night. Didn't realize that the Yankees were playing Sunday night baseball against the Red Sox tonight. So it's...
However much the real Yankees actually play the game right now anyway.
Yeah, that's right. So we're counter-programming on some level. So we'll get Eternal Baseball diehards, Dodger fans, and people who hate the Yankees. And there's plenty of two of those three things. So we're looking forward to the game of the week. It is interleague play. And just watching it this week, watching the Yankee games play out, Cody Bellinger hit a walk-off two-run shot off Mariano Rivera Saturday. It was the first loss for Rivera this season, and only the third run or something he gave up. It was a big win. It's out in LA, so they were partying in Chavez Ravine. And then the next night, it was a tie game, so Rivera wasn't up, and they got to Redhead in the ninth. And Redhead's been really good for the Eternal Baseball Yankees, too. So they've done some damage late and rallied and taken the first two games of the series. And so tonight is the Dodgers going for the sweep, the Yankees trying to salvage one. And as we'll show you when we get into you're
here to slam the door on that crap.
I hope so, because let's pop up the old weekly tracker here. See if I can do this right. All right. So we have a short week this week because we did our game of the week on Tuesday. So there were only 4 games. So there's not much that separates the men from the boys this week. The only team that had a terrible week was Detroit, who went 0-4, which is, you can survive a 4-game losing streak. But Detroit's really strong, so that was a bit of a surprise. The Cubs are hot and driving in the National League North. I think they're even or a little ahead of Pittsburgh and trying to catch up with St. Louis. And then the Red Sox went 4-0 while the Yankees went 1-3. So a 3-game lead in the East completely evaporated in a short week for the Yankees. So they are tied for the lead in the AL East. And the game we'll play tonight, Dodgers-Yankees, is the first game on the Monday schedule. So to try to stay in first place, they're going to need a win against those Dodgers. The one nice thing for Dodger fans, or for Yankee fans, they missed Koufax. So that's always good.
It's usually a good plan. I don't know if we can manage around that.
If you can avoid Sandy Koufax, that's a good thing.
That's a solid strategy.
And the prospective matchup tonight is Clayton Kershaw against Masahiro Tanaka. But as Mike and I are going to discuss very soon, Babe Ruth is always an interesting play in an interleague game because you can pitch him and bat him and then still have a DH if you want to go that route. It just gets a little dicey if Ruth runs out of gas and you're really going to pull Babe Ruth's bat out of your lineup. So those are the options that we're looking at today. Let's check out the standings. which are minuscule and hard to read, but not much I can do about it. So in the National League East, you have the Phillies up 11 games on the Mets. In the South, the Braves are up 9 games on the Astros. In the North, which is going to be the best division down the stretch, the Cardinals are in first place with the Cubs and Pittsburgh both 3 games back. Out West, San Francisco is still the class of the league with a 15-game lead on the Dodgers. In the East, it's the Yankees and the Red Sox tied at 61-34. Birmingham, the Knights, that's our team of Negro League legends, are running away and hiding with a 27.5 game lead over Amos Otis and Frank White and all your favorite Kansas City Royals.
Buddy Biancalana.
Yeah, I think absolutely. The one guy, man, Bo Jackson's in their minors. And I just got to call him up just to see him play. Right?
27 games out. What's he going to hurt?
Yeah. Got to see Bo play because
Bo don't know AAA.
Right?
And league baseball.
And who didn't like Bo Jackson, right? If we could see some more prime Bo Jackson, I think it's good for everybody. Yeah. So we'll try to get that working this week. Detroit has a healthy lead in the North, but the 0-4 week hasn't helped them. Cleveland has climbed to 9 games back. And then Oakland had fallen apart, but they've righted the ship a little bit, and the Angels have cooled off. So what was, I think, as little as a 2-game lead is now a 5-game lead for the A's over the Angels out west.
The Angels ain't putting that together. They're the Angels.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of still are, right? But it is Nolan Ryan and Mike Trout and Tim Salmon and
one World Series title mixed in generations upon generations of second place finishes.
Yeah, I suppose it is just kind of natural. And it's funny because Nolan Ryan is having the most Nolan Ryan season ever. He's got 1 billion strikeouts, like a 3.5 ERA, and he's 9-8. Like it just doesn't seem to translate quite.
Well, 1985, he led the league in losses and ERA.
that's
1986.
That's a tough year.
Yeah,
right?
He had a 2.3 ERA and he went 9-17. That's right there.
That was in Houston, yeah? After he got loose from Anaheim?
Yeah, as the number 2 guy for that really good Astros team. 9-17 with a 2.23 ERA or something.
I think it's hysterical when like a guy like that, Ryan, will get like 2.4 runs per game, and then Mike Scott will get like 7.5. And you're like, same batters. But yeah. So
and not to take away from Mike Scott, he had a great season, doctoring up the baseball.
Yeah.
But
never caught.
No, he even told people he did it, and it didn't matter.
I think it was funny how much he enjoyed the mystique of it because it was always in guys' heads, right? So he was it's funny, the no-hitters we've had 2 this year, and it's not who you'd expect, but it's Mike Scott through the second one, almost a perfect game, and Dean Chance of your Los Angeles Angels through the first no-hitter in eternal baseball history. I
suppose there's always a chance of that happening.
Yeah! That's a CSI Miami Open if I've ever heard one. So we're skipping ahead here. So I offered the Yankees for Sunday Night Baseball as a thank you to Mike for coming on the show. And his agent got back to me and said, he has 2 other requests. 3 actually. Some Vernor's Dry Ginger Ale. There we go.
It's in honor of you, Webb. Ginger Ale is in honor of you. I
appreciate it. It's my kind of hard liquor. A glass of only green M&Ms. And so, okay, well, that's coming. And then the other one, a roster shuffle for the Yankees, because Mike is Willie Randolph fan number 1. So I was fine to call up Willie, who hasn't played yet, but he's in the Yanks inactive roster. And I was trying to decide who to send down because A-Rod has been awful all year. So much to the point that Joe Gordon came up. Flash Gordon, great nickname for a guy from the 50s and 40s, I think. Anyway, Gordon plays second and third and is one of the lesser known elite Yankees, right? But his numbers are he's worth 6, I think. I think his number is retired for him and Torrey, maybe?
No, he wouldn't have been
No?
6 is just Joe Torre.
6 is just Torre. I forget who he is. He's somebody.
I don't know if Joe Gordon's is retired.
I think it is, but I don't remember for who.
I'll get my facts department on that.
There we go. Yeah, we got a staff looking at it.
Facts department, you on that one?
I was in Cooperstown.
Is not responding to me.
We need an intern. I was in Cooperstown the year Joe Gordon got enshrined because it was the same year Ricky Henderson got enshrined, and it wasn't against that one. So Gordon had already passed, but his family was up there, and it was very nice. I shook Cashman's hand, told him to get us some pitching. He's still working on it. But anyway, so
now he needs to get hitting. So he's got pitching. He needs to get hitting now.
So Gordon, I called Gordon up, and he's been great, but he's starting to cool off. Gordon plays third and second. Tony Lazzari's been great as the second baseman all year, and Jeter has been red hot at shortstop lately after a cold start. And I was trying to decide between Gordon and A-Rod. God, how do you send A-Rod down? But Gordon has been hot. And then I realized the odd man out, the backup shortstop is Gleyber Torres, which is hard to believe, but based on an average of his best 3 seasons, pretty good. And his numbers are a little better than Rizzuto, not defensively, but with the bat. But I don't need a backup shortstop because I have A-Rod, fully qualified to play short. So.
All right. So real quick, Webb, I'm going to interrupt you. Joe Gordon did wear number 6, but it's not retired for him.
Okay, there you go. All right, so I'm half right and half wrong like usual.
Joe Gordon only played 7 seasons as a Yankee, so they probably just didn't feel right retiring.
That's it. And then he was an Indian, right, I think?
He went to Cleveland, yes.
Cleveland, there you go. Okay. So here we are. We're looking at the Monday slate of Eternal Baseball, and we will be playing New York and Los Angeles. Let's make sure I get this right. Human computer displays large, and large will make it a little easier to see.
Good.
All right, so here we are. All right, so as we tear into here, looking at the batters. So it's Kershaw. We're facing a lefty. You can look at, this is based on the entered stats for every player. So it's their best 3 consecutive seasons averaged. And then every player has a modifier added to them, up to 30% better or worse than their entered stats. And there's no way to see that number, but you can get a sense for it as the season goes on. Like Gehrig is down this year, but he's still Gehrig, right? So Gehrig down 15, 20% is still fearsome at first base. But there's no way to see that, but everybody has that. And it's one of the things we like best about the sim is that every season will be different, right? You won't get 61 homers from Maris every year. It gives that kind of ebb and flow of real ball, which I like. So these are what the guys, have done. This is ranked by OPS versus left-handers. So this is where, A-Rod should be amazing against left-handers, second only to Root. But if you look over here, this is RP means replay. So what's going on in the actual Eternal Baseball season? And one thing to note, everybody's numbers are down because they're facing the best pitchers of all time. And all the pitchers' numbers are slightly elevated because they're facing murderous lineups like no one ever had to. So the league average ERA is about like real ball, about 4.2. So, people look at Nolan Ryan with a 3.5 and go, what's going on here? You're like, well, check out the lineups he's facing every day. It's daunting. So the way we've usually run this out, DiMaggio has been leading off versus lefties and righties. He's having a great year. And DiMaggio is playing left. And it's one of my favorite things as a Yankee fan. If you imagine all these guys in their absolute athletic prime, and they send the 9 out there, and young DiMaggio and young Mantle both run to center field.
I'm pretty sure that Joe DiMaggio has risen from his grave in Northern California and is just trying to find you at this point.
Right? Could you imagine aw shucks young Mickey, talking Joe out of center field?
No, it wouldn't happen.
Probably not. We can actually flip it if we want, defensively.
Shambling undead DiMaggio just hasn't found you yet, Weber.
So let's see here. DiMaggio, I think there was a reason for it. They're both 8s in center. Yeah, DiMaggio is weaker in left than DiMaggio is. So the best defensive lineup is to have Mantle in center and DiMaggio in left, because DiMaggio is the superior left fielder. So that's how I would spin it to
that would be the only way to do it. And maybe throw in a deluxe Mr. Coffee Maker.
Absolutely. And Maryland in the front row, and we're good.
Well,
Ruth cleans up, because why wouldn't he? And then Gehrig has been the number 2 hitter. And I just, as a Yankee fan, as a baseball fan, I just like looking at that 4 and going, yeah. Righty, lefty switch, left.
Gives you a sense of inner peace.
Yeah, Joe D, the Iron Horse, Mickey Mantle, and sold the swap. And then you can get creative after that. So it is a National League game. We're in a National League park. We'll have to figure out what we want to do with Ruth in a bit. We are definitely playing, unless the computer benched him. Willie Randolph is going to bat 8th or maybe 9th, depending on what we do with Ruth, and he'll play 2nd. So contractually obligated and fulfilled. Yep. So I usually go with the right-hander next. It's usually either Irizarry or Jeter. Irizarry's numbers are actually better. So Irizarry goes to 3rd, where he's a decent third baseman. And then it's usually Yogi.
We can sacrifice a little defense at 3rd for the artistry of Willie Randolph at 2nd.
Right? Randolph's going to catch everything over there anyway, right?
He turns the prettiest double play in Major League history.
Yogi Berra, catcher, and then we're missing just a short. Oh, Jeter, head short. So, pitching-wise, I think they said it was Tanaka's turn. We'll look at pitching reps. So this is base.
So this is not a DH game?
This is not a DH game. But if Ruth bats, we can play somebody else in the outfield. We can play Judge in the outfield. Really, it's Judge.
I would say let's keep that in our back pocket and start an actual pitcher. Okay. And then if we need a situational lefty,
yeah,
we can throw Ruth in there, and then maybe put an outfield, maybe put a pitcher in the outfield, like Billy Martin used to do.
Like I could make that happen, right? Yeah. Well, we'll see. I like where your head's at. And I love the idea of a tough lefty coming up in a key situation, and Rigetti and Lyle getting up in the bullpen, and Ruth going, "No, I got it, boys.
Ruth
no worries."
Waves him off.
Yeah.
Finishes his hot dog.
That's it.
Gets to the mound.
Hey, Rags, bring me a hot dog. I'm good. I'm all warmed up.
Double mustard and kraut, Rags.
So the guy, Happy Jack Chesbro, had been the ace most of the year, but he struggled lately. Bob Shockey has been better of late. Mel Stottlemyre's been consistent. Whitey Ford's been slightly disappointing. Tanaka was hot and is fading. But what you got to look at pitchers, and it's over here. These are the number of pitches they threw on recent days. So Chesbro is out, and so is Mel. So it could be Whitey or Shockey's out. It's Tanaka or Whitey or Ruth. So,
I mean, I think as a fan, I have to pitch Whitey Ford today.
I kind of like that Whitey Kershaw lefty marquee.
Let's get it done.
All right, so here we go. So Whitey there, that looks all good, and I think we're ready for ball. So our bench, and we use him a little bit. Bill Dickey is available, but he and Yogi are so similar, number-wise and lefty-wise and defensively, and it's a curse. Not much of one to have two really good catchers, but they're very similar. Joe Gordon can play second or third for us. Judge is good in the outfield. Mattingly is good at first, but probably not going to see any Mattingly until Kershaw gets out. A-Rod can play shortstop or third base, but he's having a lousy year, which most Yankee fans are really happy about. So much. There was so much venom for him when I posted the original starting nines.
I mean, I'd like to join in, but the man should have won an MVP for them in 2009. So,
I mean, that was the bit that I kind of spun a little bit out there was, look, I wasn't a big A-Rod fan ever, but this is a straight numbers sim. You don't have to listen to it.
Should have won an MVP in a Yankee uniform. So I can't be that upset about it.
Yeah, and the numbers are ridiculous. But he's having a down year, so he has been eating a lot of pine. And the few times I've seen him get in to pinch hit or spot start, he's been awful. So it's like, you climb off the bench, you got one shot here, A-Rod. So
he didn't make the most of it like Willie Randolph will today.
See, and it'll be interesting to see how Willie does on his opening day. So, without any further ado,
welcome to Dodger Stadium for tonight's game between New York and Los Angeles. Whitey Ford takes the mound for New York. He's made 15 starts on the year and is 6-5 with an earned run average of 3.56. His first start against Los Angeles, he'll be opposed by Clayton Kershaw for Los Angeles. He's made 18 starts on the year and is 7-5 with an earned run average of 3.80. His first start against New York, it's 73 degrees.
A balmy night.
Los Angeles,
Angels.
Number 22, Clayton Kershaw. Leading off for New York, left fielder, number 5, Joe DiMaggio.
Play ball!
All right, so my favorite part of the game is just going around. So we got Pedro Guerrero in left. And if you haven't watched the sim before, the number after him is his defensive rating on a scale of 1 to 10. So he's a 3 with an arm of 4, again, on a 1 to 10 scale. So we'll be careful on those sharp singles to left. We might be able to do something with him. Duke Snyder of Willie, Mickey, and the Duke fame is a
beast.
I mean, just an incredible player who somehow doesn't get the respect he actually should deserve. But he actually is down this year. If you look at the real versus the replay numbers, we're more than halfway through, only 12 homers, 41 RBI. So
he was unfortunate enough to play at a time when he was the third best center fielder in New York.
Right. Third best in the league, probably, and third best in his city. And then Cody Bellinger. Now, this is awesome. This is the photo I use when Cody Bellinger is player of the day. And he was when he took a Mo out for that 2-run walk-off shot. And when I post it on Dodger boards, it gets so many likes, 80% of them female. And I have not researched whether or not Cody Bellinger is single or not, but I hope he is.
He is.
He is the king of LA.
He's dreamy.
Cody Bellinger. And it took me a month to stop calling him Clay because Yankee guy, right? So Fine. I even typed it once, one of his player of the days. That's his dad. All right, fine.
He'll be all right.
Gil Hodge is at first base, which means who knows where Steve Garvey is right now. But
look, Gil Hodges should always be at first base if the alternative is Steve Garvey.
Yeah, I think he must be splitting time a little bit because his number's down a little bit. Jackie at second. Who doesn't like seeing Jackie Robinson? Pee Wee Reese at shortstop and Redhead number 1. Justin Turner. Everybody's staying 6 feet away from Justin Turner for some reason, but that's cool. Clayton Kershaw on the mound. Russell Martin behind the plate.
Oh, man.
We're ready for Russell, former Yankee.
I used to love Russell Martin.
He was a great player. And I loved that like a decade into just catching, he started playing like third base and second base. And not a lot, but once in a while you'd see him out there patching a hole or covering for a hurt guy or
Oh no, hell of an athlete.
Who just starts playing second 10 years in. Anyway. So here we go. Jody.
Gets it percolating.
Yeah. All right.
First
you, Duke Snyder.
Good for you, Duke.
Lou Gehrig.
I love the Lou Gehrig day this week.
Center fielder, number 7, Mickey Mantle.
And you look at Mantle's numbers, 277, 17 homers, 58 RBI. He was ice cold for the first 2 months. So there's the reason why he's hitting third is he's done about half of that damage in May. So we're looking forward to more from Mickey Mantle.
Pitching for New York.
Not right away, apparently, but
Whitey Ford. Leading off for Los Angeles, second baseman, Jackie Robinson.
So you'll see by their name, they also have a bunt rating. He's rated as an 8 as a bunter. So you can monkey with your defense, bring him in a bit.
Bringing the corners in is not a bad plan.
Yeah, I tend to like to not get burnt, especially leading off. So, well.
Shortstop.
What can you do?
Hey.
Reese.
And Pee Wee Reese is a great bunter, too.
Make him swing the bat, right? Make him
Yep.
swing the bat.
Earn it. He bunted anyway. Pee Wee Reese.
Center fielder.
But I had a professional cover at first by Willie Randolph.
Pretty exciting right there. He's off to a very good start.
This is his first put out.
Duke Snyder steps in. Oh, look at that.
Right fielder.
It looks
number
like
35.
Robinson broke too early off of second base.
Got him in a rundown.
And Irizarry to Randolph, very sharp. Tagging out Jackie Robinson. Cody, and then over here, this is their percentage to steal the next base in this situation. So against this catcher in this game situation, against a lefty who helps depress that number. So you can try to pick him off and it gets the number down. The computer doesn't tend to go until he's at least 70% or so. So Duke Snyder's not going anywhere. And you can also alter your defense to play behind him if you don't think he's going to go. I tend to think Duke Snyder's not running here. So, but Cody Bellinger, breathtakingly beautiful. Doesn't quite have the distance.
No, it's
Right fielder.
holding track
number
power.
3.
Yeah.
Babe.
Home run in a phone booth. That's good, solid crack.
The Bambino.
Third baseman.
Goodwood.
Number 6. Tony Lazzari.
Hits the hand model. Cody Bellinger in right field.
Lazzari. Love that.
Yeah, and his nickname, Push 'em Up Tony. I guess they were struggling for writers. Might have been that CSI Miami crew that we were talking about.
Hey, you know what? There were so many great nicknames already on that 2017.
I suppose it's true. All the nicknames were good back then.
Somebody had to be push him up, Tony.
Yeah, like everybody was Hacksaw or Deadeye or
So many guys. You had to you got kicked out of the league. You didn't have 3 guys named left.
It's like Vince McMahon was working marketing for MLB back then. You're a trash compactor. Okay. So Tony, let's see it, Tony. Foul ball.
That looks routine.
Yep.
Catcher. Number 8. Yogi.
Let's
Barry.
go, Lawrence. Come on.
Come on now. All right,
All
getting
right,
started.
all right, we got a little business going.
Shortstop. Number 2. Derek Jeter.
So Russell Martin is a 7 defensively with a 3 arm, so that may come into play. Probably not with Yogi Berra,
I'm gonna guess not.
but Jeter, who is also a good bunter, but with 2 outs, this is kind of academic. Unless you're really feeling hit and run at some point, just sing it out. But with Yogi, I think this is just a straight hit. Or not.
With 2 outs, it's not a hit and run regardless.
Yeah.
First baseman. Gil Hodges.
All right, Gil. Not quite. I started to learn to gauge
Left
the
fielder. Pedro
danger of the fly ball
Guerrero.
by just looking at the fielder. Is the fielder moving? Because if it's way gone, you know it, right? So, and anything sort of wall scraping tends to get caught. Very few homers just barely get out in a turtle baseball. So, hey, here's Pedro Guerrero.
He's gonna fly out and then probably fight somebody.
Third baseman.
Right.
Number 10. Justin Turner.
Might fight third base, actually, since it fought him for so many years.
Right.
Redhead Justin Turner.
Is toast.
Yeah.
Here he
Second
is.
baseman.
Look at
Number
that.
30. Willie Randolph.
That's Willie at age what? 38?
What I can't see his stats.
No, I'm just saying his picture.
That could be Willie today, frankly. He looks like that's probably Willie at 24.
Right?
That's an old picture.
Looking good, Willie. All right. Willie's a good bunter. I can throw that bunt down anytime you want. Or we'll just swing away. Either one's fine.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's
All
bunt.
right.
Let's see
No
let's make it happen.
They're not expecting it.
He's gonna be like that kid in the Meatloaf song.
Oh.
Swing away. Swing away.
Yeah, 2 strikes. Now he's got to swing.
Come on.
Pitcher. Number 16. Whitey.
Like he's on.
Infield single. Randolph hits a ground ball in front of the plate, fielded by Martin. He won't make a throw. Randolph with the infield single.
What's our steal percentage there?
62.
Well, Whitey's up, so I think we got to put the bunt on.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Even with the defense in, we will bunt, sacrifice bunt. All right.
Because Willie can move.
Whitey was a great bunter, apparently.
Whitey could handle the bat.
All right. Well, we'll find out. Yep. Mission accomplished.
Left fielder, Joe DiMaggio.
I like that Willie was 62% to get second, but he's 54 to get third. But, one out with DiMaggio up.
Murderer's Row is coming up here, so.
Yeah. We'll let him swing.
What we say about Willie Randolph, he's a bad man.
So far, so good, right?
First baseman, Lou Gehrig.
DiMaggio walks, and Sweet Lou. That's a single. That's getting in. All right, so if we send Randolph, he's got a 55% chance to be safe with one out and Mickey Mantle coming up.
Who's got the – Bellinger has it?
Bellinger has it. He's got a great arm.
Yeah, he's got a gun. I'd say hold on with one out.
Yeah, we'll hang on there. You can stay put.
Center fielder, Mickey Mantle.
Kudos to Gehrig for just hitting it that hard.
Right? Good enough. And here's Gehrig over at first with a 94% to steal second.
Yeah, he's all over.
Let's go, Coach. Let's go. If we send all three, they're not trying to get Gehrig at second.
No.
And I have tried a couple times with Ricky Henderson because I love Ricky Henderson. Haven't stolen home safely yet, which I like because you shouldn't, right? You should go about 1 for 10 in home steal attempts, and so.
Or if you're Ricky Henderson, 2 for 10, but that's still not very good.
And if you're Jackie, like 4 out of 10.
and then there's the times when he's out, but they call him safe,
right? And that's one of my favorite clips ever.
Ghost right there.
One of my favorite clips ever was when Yogi came back to see the Yankees, I don't know, 8 years ago maybe. And it was Rivera walking into the room, and there's Yogi in the back. And he goes, hey, Yogi, I got a question I always wanted to ask you. So with Jackie, and all Rivera said was Jackie, and Yogi just spit out. He's out.
Yeah.
He was out.
And the word is it used to be Jeter's favorite thing to do. He would just walk up and, I don't know, Yogi, you look safe. That would be the only thing he'd say. And Yogi just go up.
I like the Yogi, who was just as famous for his sense of humor as his baseball talent, because both were prodigious. Never thought that was funny, right? No sense of humor about Jackie stealing home. All right, Mickey. That's getting in. 2-run score. Throw it, Pedro.
Right fielder, Babe Ruth.
I'm amazed Pedro threw it to the right base.
That's Willie Randolph making it happen with an infield single right there.
Yeah, the igniter, right? Okay, so we got Mantle 75% at first, but Ruth up. I don't know that I want to run into an out right now.
Yeah, with one out, no.
All right, babe. Let's see it.
Oh, yeah. At least we didn't hit the play.
Tony Lazzari.
We'll see if Tony. Push him up, Tony. No.
He made contact. That would have been nice. Batter ago.
5. Russell Martin.
I'm just surprised Pedro caught it with that thing that's on his hand for some reason. We were unfortunate that we didn't catch him over one of the times where it was just on his head. Hit it right in the glove. Slick Willie, no problems.
No doubt.
Number 22, Clayton Kershaw.
Kershaw's not much of a bunter, so it looks like he might be swinging away.
He's not going to be much of a hitter against the lefty either.
Second baseman.
That's gift wrapping one for old Whitey.
All right, here's Jack. He's not bunting with 2 outs, I don't think.
I would hope not. If not, then computer Tommy Lasorda needs to have his gear up.
Yogi.
Right?
Vera.
All right. Time for Yogi to start it up again.
It's got a chance. Nah, not quite.
Shortstop, Derek Jeter.
It's a gapper and forget it.
Whoa! Long gone for Derek Jeter.
And he doesn't have many.
Second
That's like
baseman,
his 6th.
Willie Randolph.
He hasn't shown a whole lot of power so far. But
here's Willie to get it going again.
Right? Step up, Willie. Now, bunt's always a possibility. That's all. It's your call.
What do we got here? Wait, one out. Let's let him swing away.
Okay.
Good things happened last time. Well, not so much this time.
That's all right. Still hitting 500.
Whitey, Ford.
All right, Whitey.
That gets us to a point where this is the end of the inning, and that's not such a bad thing.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Shortstop, Pee-wee.
Down, Whitey.
Reese.
Pee Wee Reese. Living up to his name at 233 with 2 homers and 6 RBI.
Ooh.
He could play for the Yankees with those numbers.
Right?
How many strikeouts you got, kid?
Probably not enough.
Yeah. And we walked him.
Whitey!
How you going to lead off
Center
walk
fielder.
to 233 guy named Pee Wee?
Snyder.
At least you can't run.
That's true.
All right.
The Bambino has range.
Fielder. Cody.
Yeah, he's rated as a pretty good fielder and a great arm, so he really doesn't struggle. And when Judge plays right, there's not much drop off. So the Yankee outfield defense is very strong.
Yeah, Ruth was a good glove until he got to his mid-30s and put on a lot of weight.
Yeah, and then
Like he was always a little chubby, but he was one of those guys that could carry it around. And then when he got big in his later 30s, and some of that was muscle. Ruth was one of the first guys that really hit the gym to lift weights.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't all bad weight, but it regardless of what it is that you're carrying around, sometimes you're just carrying it around.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Cody Bellinger. It sounded better than it was.
Yeah, really. Right to Ruth.
First,
Feed me.
Hey,
Hodges.
there's mustard on the ball. How'd that?
This ball's covered in sauerkraut.
Sit down, Gil.
Joe DiMaggio.
Just saying, a little one-hitter twirling so far for Whitey Ford.
I would like to meet the dashing manager that chose to play him today.
Right?
Man,
Baseball savant.
Baseman.
A
Lou.
baseball
A-Ray.
savant. All
That's
right, Lou.
twice that Duke has taken from DiMaggio.
You
Twice.
should the very first game we played, and maybe you were watching, was Giants somebody, and it was Bonds in left and McCovey in right, and Mays in the middle. And Mays is a 10 defensively, 10 arm, and somebody hit a shot right over Bonds' head, and he didn't even move. It was one of those classic ones where the outfielder is like, well, there it goes. And then Mays came over with a rocket on his back, caught it right behind Bonds at the wall. And I'm like, yeah, well,
there you go.
you got the right guy. And the beauty is, I guess it wouldn't be prime Barry Bonds, not defensively.
No.
Because his best numbers are obviously coming late 90s, early 2000s when he was not the Gold Glove skinny pirate or Sun Devil.
Yeah, he had good hands and he caught what he got to, but it just wasn't that much.
Yeah, the range disappeared and his arm was always terrible. Sid Bream.
Sid Bream, the slowest man, a man perhaps slower than I am now.
I love that Bream slid home and put both fists up before he even got up because the knees were so bad he just wasn't even going to get up.
He needed help.
Man.
Oh, Sid.
And Bream would have been Bond's teammate, I think.
Yeah, he went to Atlanta. I think the plan was just to play out one more season to pick up the checks, and they wound up winning a division and a pennant with it. So then, Sid had to hang around a while.
And given that Bonds was known to be not the best teammate, I'm betting Sid wasn't that wild about old Barry Bonds and his popcorn arm and left. So I would rewatch that play and see if he's really looking at the third base coach sending him, or if he just already knew I'm going home on Bonds.
That very possible.
It was Francisco Cabrera.
Correct.
Single left. Love it. Okay. Back to real baseball.
Right.
Let's see what Lou Gehrig's got for us today.
Oh,
Center fielder.
biscuit pants.
Mantle.
Man. I saw there are a lot of Gehrig photos this week for Lou Gehrig Day. And there's that great one of him as Tarzan that you see once in a while.
Yeah.
He's so lost.
Right.
Right. He does not want to be there. But
Not in a loincloth at any rate.
no, but buff. I mean,
No, dude knew how to keep it together. He was a piece.
he was a beast. All right, so here's Mickey with 2 good knees.
I don't think we ever saw that.
I mean, he was fast before the sprinkler, right?
Left fielder.
Yeah,
He ate a sprinkler, had
Guerrero.
twisted the knee.
yeah, but he was like 20 when that happened.
Yeah, he was young. I remember the story was that's the first words DiMaggio said to him all year was "Stay down, kid. Doc's coming." Nice.
He was a warm one. Joe.
Yeah.
Warm one.
Here's Pedro Guerrero.
Well, base hit.
Well,
Third baseman.
we'll give it up to him because
Justin Turner.
Gonna
not
fight.
many. Yeah, they're not getting a whole lot, so good for you, Pedro. Justin Turner.
I don't know how he didn't turn out to be a Cardinal.
Was he a Cardinal ever?
Catcher.
Oh, yeah.
Russell.
He had some good years in St. Louis.
I think it's just St. Louis. It's funny. Well, the Dodgers are just as deep, right?
Right.
But those teams with 100 years of history, it's hard to crack that lineup. And I'm trying to think. In St. Louis, Pujols actually plays a little bit of third.
Yeah. Because
he qualified early, and then I'm going to blank on his name. It's Ken something from the 50s. I got some incredible third baseman I'd never heard of.
Oh, well, third base would be Ken Boyer.
Ken Boyer. I didn't know anything about Ken Boyer before we started doing the research, and then I found out
he's Cleet Boyer's brother,
and he was
better than Cleet Boyer.
And he's like Dale Murphy, Fred McGriff level good, right? Not Hall of Famer, but real close.
I mean, for a third baseman, he probably should be there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No third baseman in there, so. Anyways,
if he'd have broadcast for 20 years, people would talk about him like Ron Santo.
Maybe.
But, okay. All right. Russell Martin.
You and your Santo bit, man.
I don't like Santo. Well, I don't have nothing against Ron Santo.
Pitcher. Clayton.
But
Kershaw.
having never seen him play, man, hearing Cub fans.
Okay, so we got
opine.
one out and 2 on with the pitcher up. We probably want to guard against the bunt here.
Yeah, even though it's Kershaw. Oh, no. Wow, it ranks Kershaw good for a bunt. I wonder if that's situational. Because I thought he was weak earlier. But, all right, so we're in on the bunt. And there it is. Oh, wow, he gets it down. And
Second
safe.
baseman. Jackie Robinson.
You have an error on that? What happened?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
Berra
like-
will be charged with an error. Berra muffed it, it says.
Man, get Bill Dickey up.
Right? Dickey will play. He's ready. All right, so
Tell Bill Dickey to get loose.
Jackie squints one through. It only scores
Shortstop.
one.
Pee-wee Reese.
And, so the other thing to watch over here, there's a pitch count on Ford. He's only thrown 64 of a maximum of 135, so he's got lots of time. Should we choose? But the Yankee bullpen is deep and really good.
We might want to start getting somebody loose, because if this inning gets out of hand, then we got a problem.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll probably go with a right-hander. I guess it could be Tanaka. You know what? It could be Gossage.
I like that. I like Goose Gossage coming in to put out the fire if we need.
All right. Warm it up, Goose. And basically with a reliever, you only have to pitch one more batter and do one mound trip and they'll be ready. So it doesn't take long. Starters take longer, but relievers get up usually with a batter as long as you have a mound trip to burn.
Good.
So, Pee-wee. All right, so we can throw home. We got a 15% chance to get Russell Martin.
I'll throw him.
Once I say yes, sometimes it'll give us an option to cut the throw. So we'll see. But why not throw? All right, if we cut it to third, we got a 48% chance to get Kershaw at third. And the run would score, but we'd still be up 3-2. So I'm all for cutting that throw.
See, if this is going to make it 2 outs, I say let's try and get the run at home, because I don't know.
Well, I mean, there are 2 outs right now on the catch.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's cut it up.
All right. Kershaw dead
Right
at
fielder.
third.
Babe Ruth.
And Gossage is ready should we need him.
Okay.
I had hopes for that. But
Third baseman. Tony Lazzari.
Italian fans everywhere.
Catcher.
cursing at us,
Vera.
giving us that. Giving us Robert De Niro face.
Well, maybe Yogi will help us.
Nope.
Center
That's
fielder.
fine.
Duke. Snyder.
But again, the Dodgers have been coming back on the Yanks all weekend, so
Yeah,
something to watch.
I mean, good call on that. I forgot we had the third run from the Jeter homer. So
There you go. All right, so Gossage is ready, but Ford is not tired at all.
no, I think we're okay if Whitey doesn't get in any trouble here.
All right,
We're okay with Whitey in.
I'm going to sit Gossage down, but we can get him ready again if we need it.
And Snyder's not the guy to bring him in on anyway.
Right.
See, look
Right
at
fielder. Cody. Bellinger.
All right, Cody. So dreamy.
another lefty. What is that?
First baseman.
Doesn't
Gil
matter. Cody Bellinger.
Hodges.
He's that dreamy.
Gil Hodges. All right. So if we get another guy on, we'll or should we get somebody working right now?
What's Gossage's status here? What is he?
It should take him one batter to get ready.
All right, let's get him back up.
All right. Could be two.
Oh, look at Randolph turn that
Right?
double play.
No
Shortstop,
doubt about that.
Derek.
Look at Willie getting it done.
All right, Jeter's up. Good bunter, if we wanted to try that, but he's also red hot right now.
He's
So
got 3,600 hits. So
all right.
no bunt.
Gil Hodges, real good glove over at first, so not much hope
Second
there.
baseman. Willie Randolph.
All right, Willie. I assume he's hitting with one out.
Yep.
Oh.
Pitcher.
Come on, man.
Whitey Ford.
Yeah, Willie
All right.
used to strike out 12 times a year, and he's getting one in this game. Come on.
So we got Gossage ready. I don't know. Hang on.
I say we go get it. Let's go get a hitter.
All right, because Ford has thrown, I forget where it says. He's thrown enough. All right, fine.
No, this is where we go get a hitter.
All right, so Yankee roster, it's probably Judge, right? Because it's not going to be Dickey.
Oh, Aaron
And
Judge.
And it's not going to be Mattingly against Kershaw.
No. My mouth waters for an Aaron Judge at bat here.
All right.
You're going to the bench to bring off some kid who's 6'8".
Hitting for New
Right.
York.
You go
Number 99.
Braun
Judge.
Strowman.
right.
All right.
Gimmick.
Kershaw past the 100-pitch mark. Toes of rubber. Yo!
Guerrero.
And Dodger Stadium goes wild.
Man, oh man, a Shevin Silent Bob. That's terrible.
He must be frustrated. That's another Tazism. Frustrated.
Frustrated.
I just like letting the song go.
Let's go, Sunrise!
There we go. So if Gossage gets in trouble, which might happen,
Pitching for New York. Number
here's the
54,
interesting
Rich
trivia.
Gossage.
In a bullpen packed with good left-handers, with Sparky Lyle and Dave Righetti and Ron Gidry, if you want, the actual left-handed Terminator is Dylan Betances, whose numbers are so scary good. And I'm sad that his career ended. I mean, they cut bait when they should have. I'm sorry his career went off the rails because I love watching him pitch. But he's pitched a lot lately. So this over here is his pitch count. He's got a max of 20. So he may not be effective for us today. But Lyle can go. Righetti can go. Rivera can go. That should be plenty for 3 innings plus Gossage.
I would think.
So anyway, if Goose gets in trouble, and there are some lefties coming up, so we'll keep an eye on that. So Pedro, yeah,
Third baseman. Justin Turner.
just in case.
Man, we're playing the odds right here. So,
Are you feeling? It's got to be Rigetti.
I would say yeah.
All right, because I like Lyle a lot, but the numbers just don't quite back it up. So, all right,
8-year-old Yankee fan Mike is thrilled at putting Dave Rigetti in
right.
form to relieve for the Goose.
What I'm excited about in a couple years of eternal baseball, some players will eventually shift teams, right? Once Bryce Harper is more Philly than national in real baseball, we'll move him roster-wise. So we're only, I think, like 2 seasons away from Aroldis Chapman being more Yankee than Red. And we get to add Chapman to this pen. Like, so good. That will be the first eternal baseball team to embrace the 5-inning thing, just so we can go Chapman, Rigetti, Betances, Rivera. Ugh.
It's a bullpen that Dave Robertson's not good enough to be a part of.
Right? Yeah, like not even close. So, all right. So, Justin Turner. Duh. All right, so there's no chance to get Guerrero at home because he just lashed this down the line and Irizarry missed it. So we're not going to throw home. We're going to hold Turner at second.
Poor play.
Russell Martin.
So Russell Martin, down here you can see the splits. 311 off lefties, 272 off righties. So it's not the time for Rigetti, but Rigetti, well, it's Kershaw next. Who knows who they'll pinch hit.
Yeah, let's I think we got Goose here, and then we see what happens.
All right. So Russell Martin.
Goodness.
The Dodgers rallying again. I don't believe they're going to back Kershaw, but I'm kind of done with the Goose.
Well, let's go ahead and get Rags in there then.
All right.
Goose is gonna go in the dugout and just
number
19
19
the head of every millennial he sees.
Right. All right.
Pinch hitting for Los Angeles, number 5, Corey Seager.
Corey Seager is an interesting pinch hitter as a lefty who hits 240 off lefties, but
Right.
I'm gonna throw over on Martin just to.
Pinch hitting for Los Angeles, number 5, Corey Seager.
So a throw over drops Martin from 77 to 55.
Let's go one more.
All right.
Just get out of his head.
Pinch hitting for Los Angeles,
Now they're booing
number
us.
5.
They're booing you, Mike.
Seager.
Good.
All right, Corey Seager. Oh, he went anyway. Meat. Run it on, Yogi.
That's foolish.
And after he threw him out, he probably turned the dead eye stare on Jackie Robinson. Right? Going in your head now. Okay. All right, so Rigetti still has Seager to deal with.
Oh, come on, Rigetti.
Second baseman, Jackie.
It's all that pasta.
Oh, and here's Jackie saying hi to Yogi, I'm sure, at home plate. There's not much there.
There we go.
So,
Shortstop,
second only.
Reese.
Well, we're definitely going after Reese. Rigetti has 40 pitches to throw, so he's in no trouble.
Yeah, we're in good shape here. We're in good shape as we're gonna be.
There we go.
Pitching for Los Angeles.
We should probably get somebody warm though.
Left
Yeah, it's not a
fielder,
bad call.
Joe DiMaggio.
What do we get? We're down 1.
Yeah.
Going into the 8th.
Probably Lyle, yeah?
Yeah, but you're not liking how he's been lately, are you?
Yeah, he hasn't been great. Betances is great, but he's pitched a lot lately.
Who else do we have available to us?
I mean, there's Guidry and Sabathia as left-handed starters. And then you could pitch Tanaka out of the pen, but he's been starting. So, and Rivera, of course. But you probably don't want to go to Mo this early.
No, certainly not.
So Lyle and Betances are our only true relievers that are.
Let's get Guidry loose.
Okay.
And then Righetti's fine and can start the next inning. And if he gets in any trouble, then we can worry about maybe the Gator getting in and seeing a couple batters.
All right. Works for me. So, Joe D, show us something. Oh, Gagne's in.
There we go.
First baseman, Lou Gehrig.
Well, Lou's not bunting because he's a terrible butter, and he's also Lou friggin' Gehrig.
Lou friggin' Gehrig. He's Larrapin Lou.
And DiMaggio's not much of a base stealer. Not a bad base runner,
no,
but a bad base stealer. So
why would you steal bases with this guy?
That's your point. Look at that. He legs it out. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Oh, where's our kick, dirt, and argue button?
Man, we got hosed. But he moves the runner.
Fair enough.
For Mickey Mouse. Oh.
Right fielder, Babe Ruth.
So, tying run on second. Babe Ruth against Eric Gagne in their prime. Not bad. Oh!
Center fielder, Duke.
Bad
Snyder.
week in L.A.
Look, all I'm saying is we just saw Eric Gagne, like a 5-year flash in the pan, deal with Mantle, Gehrig, and Ruth.
Yeah.
I'm calling BS on Eternal Baseball.
With DiMaggio on base, right?
On base. I'm calling BS on Eternal Baseball.
Yeah, it feels like someone pushed the turbo button on the Dodgers this weekend.
Right? BS Eternal Baseball.
We still got time, sort of. So, Duke Snyder.
Right fielder,
Fine.
Cody Bellinger.
He's dreamy.
He is.
And he's grounded.
I still think Gehrig was safe, but fine.
First baseman, Gil.
He at least made contact.
Right. That might have been that flip turn throw.
Third baseman,
short.
Tony.
All right, so here we are, top of the ninth. We have Irizarry, Berra, Jeter, and our bench options are Dickey and Joe Gordon. Not really helpful. Unless we get to Willie Randolph, and that'll be your call.
Look, yeah, it's going to depend where we are. We need a run, so.
So, you can always bunt if you want, but these are all good hitters too. So.
Yeah, we're not going to the bench for better than Irizarry, Berra, or Jeter.
Yeah. All right, Tony. Let's see if Tony can push you up. No.
Catcher, Yogi Berra.
Wow. Eric Gagne was the stuff, but
yeah,
we're staining it a bit today.
Yeah.
Jeter.
All right, so it's down to the captain. I don't know if he's the captain of this squad, but
he's a captain.
And thrown out at first. And just like that, it's over in LA.
The final score from Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles 4, New York 3. Clayton Kershaw is the winner. He is now 8-5. Rich Gossage is the loser. He is now 3-4. Eric Gagne gets the save, number 16. Derek Jeter hit home run number 6 on the season. Time of the game, 2 hours, 36 minutes.
That's a tight 236.
And we only got 2 hits, granted 2 walks for DiMaggio, but only 2 hits out of that top 4. DiMaggio, Gehrig, Mantle, Ruth.
Mm-hmm. We got more production out of Jeter and Randolph.
Man. Yeah, Willie had a good game. The one thing I like looking at down here, there's actually a stuff rating, which can be 2 minuses, nothing. 2 minuses, 1 minus, nothing, a plus or 2 pluses. And that's just basically how good was their stuff today. But everybody who pitched today just pitched according to their baseline, basically. So
Goose getting his no outs with 3 hits. Didn't get a minus. That seems generous.
Well, I think it's not how they're rating his performance. It's how his stuff actually was going to be.
Well, sure. So, I'm just saying that I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
Anybody out? Maybe he didn't have his best.
He gets an F. So the Goose got cooked. Dodgers complete 3-game sweep, and Red Sox can reclaim first place with a win on Eternal Baseball tomorrow. So pay attention. We get our scoreboard posted up usually mid-afternoon. And we've got drama and intrigue in the American League East.
I feel like I've let everyone down, Mark.
Yeah, well, I mean, I lost with the Yankees a couple weeks ago, and you weren't happy about it.
That's true.
So it's not as easy as it looks, man, losing these games every week.
Look,
but,
it is as easy as it looks, but somebody put Eric Gagne on God mode.
Yeah, I wasn't quite ready for Gagne to.
I'm calling BS on you, Eternal Baseball.
2 innings, no hits, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Yeah.
On Murderous Row.
On Murderous Row, yeah. So good for you, Eric Gagne. Who was the player of the game? It usually says a little further down.
Eric Gagne.
It's got to be Gagne, doesn't it? It's hard to get that. Yeah, look at that, MVP. What was he, Game Over? Wasn't that his nickname? Or Lights Out or something?
Game Over sounds right.
Yeah, whatever. Good for you, Eric Gagne. Congratulations in French.
You stinking punk.
Right. So that'll wrap up our game of the week. If you like what you saw, if it's your first time, welcome. You can like and subscribe. You can find us all over the place. We appreciate you watching our game of the week this week as we counter program ESPN's Yankee baseball with our own Yankee baseball. We're on Facebook.
Similar result.
Yeah, right. Same deal. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. But most importantly, you can find us at eternalbaseball.com. And that's where the scoreboards go up every day. We have team-specific message boards. So if you didn't like who's playing where, we always say we'll never know your team better than you will. So shoot us a message. Let us know who needs to get sent down, who needs to get called up, who needs to pitch more often. And we will try to make it happen. We want every team as competitive as possible as we head down the stretch. So,
I mean, clearly our Yankees franchise needs to acquire the services of Frank White.
Right? I'm sure he's available. He's not doing anything in Kansas City. But I think we found our new second baseman.
That's right, damn it.
So Frank can play third. For Irizarry, whose glove bit us today with that screamer down the line that he couldn't come up with. Yeah. Well, we'll maybe take a little break on Yankee baseball for a while. I know everybody was
give him a chance to win by letting the computer manage for him.
Yeah, right. But at least it was an exciting game. It made up for the nothing was more exciting than the Astros Marlins game that froze in the 9th inning on us last Tuesday. So you never know what you're going to get from the Eternal Baseball podcast. So
that is so true. So true.
We appreciate you guys joining us. Thanks to Mike Irizarry from the What's on Joe Mind podcast, live every Friday night at 9 Eastern. You can find it. Well, you can tell it. Where can they find you and me on Friday nights?
Yes, we will be discussing our other great, completely mindless passion, G.I. Joe, on the What's on Joe Mind YouTube channel every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we have our third host, Joe Colton, joining us most weeks. We have lots of fun and guests from the world of G.I. Joe. We talk about new product. We talk about old product. And we just generally have a good time. Lately, we've been arguing about ginger ale.
True.
So obviously, clearly keeping it on topic. You can also find us on Facebook at WOJM, What's on Joe Mind. You can also find us on Twitter at WOJM Podcast or on Instagram at What's on Joe Mind. You can find us on Podbean if you prefer to listen to audio podcasts, where the audio from our Friday live streams is posted on Monday every week.
And that's a lot of involvement. You guys must be like not brand new, right? You've been around for a while, Mike?
This is on April something, 25th. I forget already. It's over. But we're in year number 11. We passed our 10th anniversary in April. So we're easily the longest G.I. Joe only podcast out there. There's some podcasts some good friends of ours that have been at the game a little bit longer. But I think we're the longest running G.I. Joe one.
There we go.
So yeah, you can't beat experience.
Really can't. Although the Dodgers just did tonight, but that's okay.
We're the only G.I. Joe podcast that has a former head of the G.I. Joe brand.
Right?
As part of the panel. So
yeah, who knew? That's a good get. I don't know how you got that guy. He must have had some spare time.
$5 and some mediocre ginger ale.
That's it. Well, yeah, gotta keep the hair orange. So anyway, Mike, really appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey, no worries.
Congrats to Willie Randolph and to Cody Bellinger, who's obviously cruising the streets of LA tonight, ladies. So
Dreamy.
great, go get him. For Mike Irizarry, our Mark Weber, for my normal co-host Brent, who is on assignment. We will see him soon. Thanks to you all for tuning in, and have a great night.